At present, there has been a surplus on residential and commercial. There's a growth has been a bit slow on commercial front. So, but it's a phase which I have seen many times. I've seen this in decades, which I've seen this cycle. So there is a kind of a lull market, and then again it picks up, and it picks up really great. So now, right now, I don't call a lull market, but it has been a stable market. The choice is great for the buyers, and I think once another maybe in a year's time, again it will turn around, and again there will be a boost, and again the growth will going to be very fast. As you rightly said, there have been a lot of outsiders coming in and settling down here. That factor is what is it for? There are 2-3 plus points in Bangalore. One is Bangalore is basically a very friendly state. You know, the people who live here are very friendly. That's a very plus point. There's no hostility. Second is climatic condition. The best of the colleges and schools are available here on international standard and international schools. So being an IT hub now, which has been established since a little over 10 years now. So a lot of families are coming in, and that has changed the demographic of Bangalore itself. The growth itself has changed tremendously, and it's going to change more and more. As I told you, once the metro gets connected, which I think between 3 to 5 years, if they complete this project, things can just, Bangalore will not be recognized at all. At one time where people used to say it's a pension paradise for Bangalore, then they said Whitefield. Today Whitefield has become an IT hub with best of the parks, IT parks. Goldman Sachs has recently signed up with, I think, I don't remember, some group they have signed up to lease out 1.6 million. Kalyani Group. They have signed up with Kalyani Group, and then Volvo. They have signed up also with Bagmane Park, about 1 million square feet with the fit out they wanted. I think they are also looking at a purchase. As far as Goldman Sachs is concerned, I think they are going to lease out with fit out with Kalyani Group. Then recent expansion happened was also at there's a large commercial Shantiniketan built by Prestige, where about 500,000 has been occupied by another company. The 3 companies which are major transactions have happened in just a couple of months. Between 3 to 6 months this has happened. So expansions are there, large companies have come in. I don't see any company exiting from Bangalore as such. I have not heard about it. It is almost, you can take it as an average half to half. If you need to look at the shell space and a warm shell, where between 25 to 30 rupees a square foot you can pick up in outskirts. Whereas here it will be about 60 rupees, and if it's a fit out, then you add another 25-30 rupees. Say about 60 rupees you can get with fit out in outskirts, where here it will cost you about 90 rupees to 100 in the CBD. So that cost effective also the companies are looking into it, and that's why most of the companies opt for the outskirts, because one is, of course, if they have a good connectivity, it doesn't bother them how far they are. And expansion also is easier for them, because most of the IT companies have grown, leaps and bounds they have grown. So the IT hubs was where the IT parks were there, which was able to give them that infrastructure. There are some companies have come in here to do the development on real estate, but Reserve Bank regulation I think is there on FDIs. So that has been a little kind of a bottleneck. So the growth has not been excellent as what they were expecting. If the government, makes things easier for them and change the law, I think there can be a tremendous growth in the development on the FDI scheme. I think there's some caps which is there that you got to develop a minimum this million square feet you need to do. and if you don't cross that thing, then it's difficult for them to take up the projects. Then repatriation also law is there, where they have to start this maybe after 3 years. So they get locked in. The investment what they do gets locked in. So if the government really reviews this kind of bottlenecks where it's making it difficult for the FDIs to come in, things can change. Commercial has been it's quite steady from past 3 years, but residential has risen to quite a high pricing in the past 3 years. It's gone from 25% to, I could say, even 100%. And as I said, there are various categories in residential depending on the location, depending on the label of the developer. So the pricing is done accordingly. There has been a little hassle on that loan factors, where the rate of interest was gone up, ROI gone up, and they were finding a little difficulty. But once, I think, if that also again comes back, it comes down in the rate of interest, loan interest, I think there can be a boost. But still, people are opting for the loans and people are buying properties, because that's the main oxygen for youngsters in the age group of between 25-35 to acquire properties. They totally depend on housing finance loans. It is a welcome environment. For them, the main industry, housing finance, is basically real estate. So they have focused on that. In fact, we are in the process of launching this evening. We have another function which we are launching, where the developer, I have tied up, I forgot to tell you that, our vision, whereas today is Irshad's Property Matters, we are focusing on doing sole kind of exclusive marketing. So today's launch is where the developer is providing also banks which have approved this project. There will be a counter straight away when customers come in for the launch. They can opt for the loan straight away. They don't have to break the head and knock at the different banks. The banks which leading 3-4 banks which have have approved this project, they sit down there during the function and say, yes, do you want the loan? We give you the loan. That's the speed today sanctions are happening today. They are very, very friendly towards the customers. See, market is growing. There has been a tremendous opportunity in Bangalore in different locations. Yes, today it may not be feasible for a new player to come into Bangalore and acquire property, because it's not feasible to complete the project, pump in more money and then do the sales. It's not viable unless he gets a good commercial terms on the joint venture. To pump in money and buy a property and to start the project for the new players, it's a very tough challenge for them, because once the label is not there, credibility is not there, then it becomes very difficult for the player to venture into this. All locations are doing well, but the most hotbed was Bangalore North. They can, if you are looking at the exact locations, I would say that they can look at Old Madras Road, Hennur Road, the Hegde Nagar side, Tanisandra, where again it's Bangalore North. So these are the good locations where demands are good, projects are good, choice is good. See, first and foremost, we have, when I started this company, I have been very clear that, we have to have transparency. Transparency lacks tremendously in our sector, broking sector. Once we have the transparency and we have a correct conscience where we can advise our customers what is good for them, we must understand the requirement. Once we understand the requirement, we must advise them correctly, which location, where, who's the developer you can get associated with, and if you buy an individual property, who's a good attorney who can back you. We advise them in all this till the property is acquired, registered and handed over to them. As I mentioned, Bangalore is a very friendly, community where they welcome. There's always a warm welcome, no hostility. Looking at the climate condition, best of the schools, best of the hospitals here, the infrastructure which is developing to international standard, have a great choice in real estate investment, where there is not only you acquire real estate investment, there's also an appreciation. Opportunities are great in real estate investments. I think this is the best place for anyone to come to Bangalore to settle down and also to invest in real estate.